G'day there, guys. Welcome to the second match tonight of Test Alliance versus Honourable Third Party. I am Wingnut, joined, of course, by BPP, and there's a ship here I did not expect to see. BPP, do you want to start us off with what Test have brought?
Test is bringing the triple Bargist comp, which I believe is probably going to be attempting to kite Honourable Third Party around. They also have a handful of other exciting little tackles and boosts, but it's all about this Bargist. Very large, very pancakey, very fast. And I think that they might have a really good setup here against Honourable Third Party.
Yeah, Honourable Third Party with Leshak, Vindicator, Damnation Curse, double Blackbird, double Enyo, double Deacon. A lot of ECM, some good close range control with the Vindicator. And Leshak is always a powerful pick. But the one ship I'm surprised by is the Stormbringer. What?
It is a very, very tanky ship, but they are already actually going straight into it, and those Bargists are burning quite quickly. They are hitting their maximum speed as fast as they can and applying so much DPS spread across multiple targets.
Is some of that? I swear, some of that must have been a smart bomb because at the start of the match, like 4 ships all went through half their shield. Now the Blackbird's being primaried.
Blackbird is taking quite a bit of DPS. They might be able to hold him just because of the power of signature tanking, but he is still going down pretty quickly here, and I'm not sure 2 Deacons are going to be able to hold up against a triple Bargist's massive DPS. There are a lot of jams going out, though, so that might be the thing that saves it.
Definitely, yeah. I'm looking at these Bargists. They are rapid heavy fit, so if he can survive the first clip, that's going to show how this match might end up going, if they can survive through these rapid heavy clips.
And I think that might be happening. They are swapping over to the other Blackbird, and one of the Bargists is tackled down now. And one thing about Bargists is they do not tank very well. So if they can get that Leshak on top of him, that Bargist might go down quite quickly, maybe even before the Blackbird.
And also the Stormbringer they've got as well is also being tackled down and got ECM drones on him. Looks like he's being tackled by the Damnation. A Stormbringer caught by the biggest brick of all. Okay.
Well, not everyone can be perfect. They can just aspire to it. One of the Blackbirds has fallen. We are seeing a little tiny bit of delay on the UI, but it is definitely down. The second Blackbird is taking a little bit of damage, and it looks like they're maybe going after the Inu, but we can see just because of the attack bar, when it drops like that some of these Bargists are definitely on a reload right now. So there might not be enough damage to push through anything, and this is kind of the point where Honourable Third Party does have an opportunity to pull this back quite easily.
Oh, they've got one of these Bargists just fully locked down. There's a Vindicator holding it. There's a Leshak right on it. Leshak is actually moving at high speed. Might be out tracking his guns a little bit, but yeah, they have got this Bargist fully locked down.
Yeah, I think you might be right. It looks like he is stopping now. We're seeing one of the classic mistakes that many battleship pilots seem to just love making in the Alliance tournament is forgetting that this is kind of about your own personal piloting, not following an anchor. So the Leshak has stopped moving. They are starting to apply, and that laser that he is hitting him with is ramping up quite quickly. You can see that it's hitting that deep red color. And one thing that Test does not have is the ability to actually shut down a Leshak's DPS. So they cannot slow him down. They don't have any ECM or any newts or anything like that will make it so that Leshak will stop shooting him.
Oh no, and I'm just watching this Damnation firing off smart bombs, and unfortunately he's been deleting friendly rep drones. The Bargist has also been smart bombing, so he's been deleting enemy rep drones, but that Damnation might have cost him a few drones there, which could be enough to keep that Leshak alive.
I think it might be, and this Bargist is going down quite quickly. There's, he's moving at the amazing speed of 3 thanks to the power of those Vindy reps, and they have almost all of the rep drones off of them at this point. Bargist is starting to bleed armor, and he just took a massive hit of damage, so we're seeing that Leshak damage ramping up and destroying him right now. Oh
yeah, that's the worst case scenario where Leshak is next to you and able to ramp up to full DPS. The problem just goes from bad to worse constantly. He's going now straight through armor. He's into hull now. His Kirans might need to overheat their reps for sure, but I think they're being neutered out and potentially even jammed for a moment there.
I just do not think that Kirans have enough power. And like I said, Bargist has gone down at this point, and the Kirans were not able to keep him alive. Again, there is a little tiny bit of delay in the overlay, so you just have to trust my voice. I'm almost never wrong, except when I am. They are trying to take that Leshak down, and they're just not doing enough damage. I think that Test really needs to start fly swatting some of the smaller stuff.
I don't get this. Why were these other 2 Bargists within web range of the Vindy? They weren't being tackled at the time. They were just sitting there in just 10k away from the Vindy and Leshak, and now the second Bargist is already hard tackled. He's not going anywhere.
The only thing I can think of is they might have been trying to smart bomb stuff off. The curse from HTP is doing incredible amounts of work, by the way. He has at least one of those Kirans completely neuted out right now. I'm watching Dante fly around in circles doing literally nothing.
Speaking of that curse, man, wow.
Okay,
Pop
looks like the
gone.
Bargus finally figured out who to shoot, so he just got deleted.
Yeah, they honestly kind of feels like they should have been doing it from the start. Might be a bit of a hindsight there, but you can see they can just delete support when they decide to. Except for that original Blackbird, who was still going. He's still
Well,
holding on.
he is taking a lot of damage now, and it is possible that they'll be able to blast through him and finish him off before that they can take out the other Bargus. And I'm a little confused because from what I can tell, I'm not seeing a lot of jams going off from that last Blackbird. So I think he might have been ECM droned out and was not able to do anything. The second Blackbird goes down, and so now the game is still very much in favor. HTP has lost all of their sort of ECM support ships, but they are going after a Jackdaw right now, which again, it is Vindicator Web down to about 3 MS, so they are going to just punch straight through it once that Leshak gets ramped up on him.
Wait, he switched over to defensive mode. He's probably going to overheat whatever he's got. 2 Kirans trying their best, but this could start swinging towards Test at this point. They've removed some of the best support ships that HTP have. They've got their obviously got their Logi still, but the Logi pretty much is unkillable most of the time. They need to kind of like pick what target you're going to kill with these Bargas. So what are you going for next? Honestly, I don't think I can go for the frigates. I have to go for that Leshak. They kind of have to.
I agree there, and I think that, like I said, Bargus are on reload, or at least one of them is right now. I believe that what they might be doing is kind of setting up for both of them to be ready. The Leshak is a very viable target. There is a lot of jams going out on one of the Deacons. I do think that if they can get some jams on one Deacon, they can always pop the other one. There's not a lot of damage really going out from either side right now. I believe that the Leshak from HTP is actually having trouble with Capacitor because I keep seeing his guns get turned off. So he's been kind of shooting at the Bargast. I'm also seeing him miss on the Bargast, which is what happens when you have your 2 battleships touch. You know,
yes.
It's a thing that we like to do, but maybe not necessarily in a tournament.
Stormbringer has been sitting this entire time, hugging that Vindicator and holding him down. If that Bargus could just slow boat away just a little bit from that Vindy, he would get outside of DPS range. I'd almost ask the other Bargus to come in and bump him off almost, because that Vindicator is not going to be moving anywhere.
No, he's not. The Bargus is slowed down to about 60 MS, so it's going to be a very, very slow boat. And it looks like that the Leshak has finally realized that he does need to get a little bit farther away. They have actually switched the Leshak DPS onto the Jackdaw of Jeremiah. So once that Leshak pulls enough range to get some really good transversal on him, I think that Jackdaw is going to go down quite quickly. I can't imagine it tanking for very long, even though defensive is really good on them. The Leshak's do stupid damage. Oh, Deacon just gets deleted.
That was perfect. I don't know what they switched there. It might have been the Jackdaw as well as the Stork, perhaps, but just Deacon gone. That there might immediately flip this entire match. The other Deacon cannot hold on his own.
And they are doing a little bit of damage to that second Deacon as well. So they're splitting on the Leshak and the Deacon, but I think there's no way the Deacon's able to keep himself alive. However, they do just delete a Griffin. That thing just gets completely one-shot. So the jams of Test are off the table now.
But now it's a race, and I think at this point, Test is in the driver's seat now. They've got rid of one of the 2 Logi boats. That Deacon can just be neutered out at this point. He can't get cap from his friends. He's just solo, and this Leshak is now starting to get shot into like half armor. This might have been the flip they needed.
And they are throwing a little bit of damage onto that last Deacon too. It looks like they're splitting a little bit, but that's again totally viable right now. The last Deacon does go down. They had drones on it, and then a little bit more damage. So at this point, I'm not sure. I think that the only thing, it's a race, but HTP, I think they have to take down those Kirans. And if you see, they do have Vindicator webs on one of the Kirans. So we're going to see if they can pop the Kiran down. He just gets completely chunked down.
Look at his speed. He went from 600 to 19, and he's just going slower and slower. And here comes the damage in that Kiran. They have to try and race this one down for sure. The Kiran's straight into armor.
I don't think they're going to be able to keep him up. Oh, yeah, there he goes. He just goes straight through his half shield. So that kind of changes things.
Sure.
And, you've been talking about it, but they flew the Kirans into the Vindicator web range as well, and that Vindicator has been tackled the entire time. So Test may have made a really horrible mistake there. The second Kiran is webbed down to about 3 MS, so they're going to be able to one-shot him. Hopefully they're smart enough to just hopefully HTP is smart enough to just turn around and just swat that Kiran. He is going a little faster. He might have gotten away somehow. I think that they should take the effort to finish it.
I think. The
yeah, they have one on the Jackdaw and they had one on the Stormbringer. I don't know. It's so hard to tell. They're switching them up constantly. I think that there might be a little bit of maybe not necessarily panic, but there's probably a lot of yelling going on both comms right now.
Yeah, we'll call it indecision and go with that. But at this point, they need to commit. Like, we need to kill DPS now. We can't we can't sustain this. The Leshak is slowly going down. You got to pick off a Barghest. You just have to go for it.
And one of my favorite names ever that has lost his Inyo, the Coathanger Strangula, is down. And now we just have the Leshak, who has actually been tanking really, really well. Like, the self-reps of that thing have been holding up quite impressively. I think they might finally be able to try and go for him here. Spectre 380 is probably either the team captain or one of the team captains, and he's been doing some pretty good work with that. But at this point, I'm not sure if his self-reps are going to keep him up.
Actually, I think we just ran out of time.
We did. I was just so okay. I was not expecting that. I was just too busy watching it. So, yeah, Test barely pulled that off. That was super tight. All HCP had to do was kill that Jackdaw or that Kieran. I think that they were so close there. But all right, well, second match goes to a 10-minute, and I guess we're gonna go back to the desk.